today I will be doing my first locomotive review. It should be my second, but I was too lazy to make a review on my FAs. And I'm sure that you've seen some videos about my FAs, and you will know that I got them in the mystery box last year. And can you guess where I got this one? But without further ado, let's get on to the review. Now, just note, this is not my first time unboxing this locomotive. I have unboxed it and I have run it, and it runs amazing. I've done the break-in period. It runs fantastic. Sound features all work. So let's get to it. First, I'm just going to do a little box overview. You can see right here, it has some nice box artwork with the prototype, American Locomotive Company, PA-1, HO scale, Rapido, all that obvious stuff. And then down here, I just noticed it has the Pennsylvania Railroad PA-1, as you can tell by the really big antenna on the top. And then up here, also, they have this other prototype design with some sort of special kind of horn, and looks like some radio equipment right there. And also, I think that this might actually be, I think this is the Santa Fe prototype, judging by this Mars light right here. And I'm so sorry about the bad filming quality. I don't have much of a studio. As you can see, it's in the New Haven, it's an HO scale PA-1 in the New Haven McGinnis scheme. This is number 776 in the McGinnis scheme. These were painted in 1955, as I figured out through this and Railroad Picture Archives, where there's a picture of this exact locomotive in 1955 in the green and gold scheme, and then a few months later it was painted into the McGinnis. And as you can see, it has a loc sound decoder. It has mow power to help with dirty track and dead spots, and it is a sound locomotive. It does run with DC power, but I would be very cautious as to which controller you use. Okay, let's get to the unboxing. So, as I mentioned, this is not my first time unboxing the locomotive. As you can slide out, there's a sleeve on the box. I might have to go out of frame to do this. So we take that, here, I'm gonna put this over here. And now we have the box in all its glory. Now it looks all clean because that sleeve is a little bit dirty. And I apologize for this. This locomotive in the box has been sitting on the dirty floor since Christmas, which was yesterday. I'm sorry for that. My only layout right now is under the tree, and it's soon going to be somewhere else on the floor. So, yeah. But let's get to the unboxing. All you got to do is just lift up the box cover, and now we have the goodies on the inside. So we have this operating manual, which is really cool because it's supposed to mimic the actual operating manuals, and I just dropped my pointer. It's supposed to mimic the actual operating manuals of the actual locomotive. If you, on my FAs, it has a similar manual, just in a different color. And this is a 2,000 horsepower passenger locomotive. If you didn't know, the P in PA stands for passenger, the A stands for an A unit, and the 1 stands for the designation. Same thing with the FA. The F stands for freight, the A stands for A unit, and the 1 stands for designation. And funnily enough, the FA unit, the B unit version, is the FB. So I'll just move this out of the way. I will be getting this back to show y'all some different functions. And now we have some cool stickers. I think this sticker comes in every box. I'm sorry for just shaking the camera. And then we've got this nice PA-1 sticker. I really like this with the whole design on the Mopac PA. And then we've got this cool, what looks to be some sort of rapid transit or some sort of commuter rail sign, but it has the Rapido. I think this might have to do with the Toronto rapid transit. I'm not really familiar with many commuter rail systems. If y'all know, please leave that in the comments. And now we have this nice soft layer of foam. And now the video is going to end. No, I'm just playing with y'all. I'm actually gonna get it out. So now that we lift up the foam, you can see the beautiful locomotive on the inside. I don't know if this is supposed to be like that, but this locomotive did not come with any extra detail. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research, but the FA did. Now, that might be because this locomotive is, let's see, where does it say it on the box? Oh, it says it on the manual. So this locomotive, the FAs that I have are a 2024 run. This is a 2025 run of the PAs. So it might be a little bit different because it's a 2025 run. Now, I think I shook my camera there and that got it out of alignment, but that's fine. Now we'll lift this up out of the rest of the box, and there it is, the foam. They really like to protect their locomotives, so there's a lot of foam. I would trust that box with a very expensive locomotive. Now we have the shell, or whatever you want to call it, casing. I don't know, it's some plastic cradle. Slide out the sleeve. And then we have even more foam on it to protect the locomotive. Just flip this up. Here we have the locomotive in all its glory. Move this over here. Left some foam, but here it is. Here, well, let me slide it into view. Let me get that foam back. I'm gonna need that. I know y'all can't really see it right now, but flip it on its side on the phone. Okay, here it is in all its glory. So this locomotive has some insane detail. I'll bring it up a little bit closer to the camera to show you. But as you can see, it is larger than the FAs. It is a 3-axle locomotive, which I had to find this out the hard way, will not run easily on 18-inch radius curves. So let's look at the side detail first. As you can see, we have this beautiful paint scheme, the McGinnis paint scheme, and some nice printing that looks like a builder's plate right there. Some handrails, some more printing, the number, some nice mesh vent details. We have a nice cab interior, as you can see right there, for putting your crew and all that, and it's not focusing. But if you can see that, then you can see there's some nice cab interior. Looks like a sand hatch, some steps, the fuel tank, some nice truck detail. Okay, let's move to the front. Let's see if I can flip this up without breaking it. So you can see here on the front, we've got the headlight, some nice windshield wiper detail right here. I can move my pointer. And marker lights, number boards, some nice crispy paint on the front here, MU cables, horn, and what appear to be, I don't know what you would call those, but some sort of maybe mirror. On the other side is virtually the same as the previous side, with the same detail, same level of detail. Now let's move to the top here. I'm not really trying to go for a insanely detailed review as I did with the previous reviews. I went into way too much detail about the detail of the equipment, and I feel like that kind of hindered the views. So I'll just go into a little bit of a general detail. We have a nice mesh fan, again, the horn, what looks to be the steam generator, the exhaust, and a little bit more detail. Again, this is not what all the locomotives look like. Different locomotives, like the Pennsylvania Railroad, would have a big antenna on the top. You know, Union Pacific, Santa Fe. This locomotive, some others have this. This locomotive does not have a Mars light, and some other prototypes do. So if you get the right railroad, then you will get a Mars light. Let's go to the back here. We have some nice diaphragm detail here on the back, a backup light, the number, looks like some small writing right there, the coupler, and some nice hose MU detail, the door, the diaphragm. So this is overall just a very detailed and really nice locomotive. Let me flip it back on its side so you can see it a little bit better. And this locomotive I got it in the mystery box, which is, I just kicked the tripod again. Sorry about that, let me adjust it. But this locomotive on the website retails for $335. It is, that's the DCC sound version. I'm not really sure about the DC no sound. And I got it in the mystery box for $300, so I would highly suggest getting the mystery box because there's some a really good deal. Last year I got the AB set, and I just dropped my pointer again. But last year I got the AB set, which was retails for $600, which is a very, very good deal for $300. Move to the bottom, I forgot to do that. Rapido really loves to detail every aspect of their locomotive. So you can see down there, you got some nice detail down there with some pipes and plumbing maybe. I don't really know what all that is. This locomotive does not have under truck detail, which is kind of not disappointing, but kind of weird, knowing that Rapido really loves to detail the bottom of their trucks. But again, it's a larger locomotive that might be a little bit harder to do. But even then, the detail does not disappoint. So now I will take it over to my loop around the Christmas tree and display some of the sound functions. Okay, here we are at my makeshift test area for the sound controls. It is on a tidy track wheel cleaner. It's makeshift right now because I don't really have a layout. And I wasn't able to do it under the Christmas tree track because it was too loud in there. Okay, anyway, so let's go through the functions. So I am using a Bachmann Easy command, so unfortunately, I'm only gonna be able to do 9 functions, 10 including the headlight. So first we have the headlight, which on the controller's 10, so you can see that comes on nice and bright. Okay, and then we have the bell. Horn. And I think that the horn, let me go look through the manual here. The horn is a Wabco E2. Now there's a whole bunch of different horns and a whole bunch of different sounds that you can have for the locomotive CV settings. And I will put a picture of those and the DCC function section of the manual. I'll put a picture up on the screen right here. Okay, so we get horn, now coupler clank. So you press it once and you hear the couplers coming together, then you press it again, and you hear the couplers coming apart, and then the air brake hose coming apart. Dynamic brake, you have to be moving, so I'll do that. So I think you have to stop. Okay, so, okay, I just remembered that setting that's one of the ones that you have to have the locomotive started up for. I will do that. F5 is flange squeal, another one you have to have the locomotive started up for. F6 is Mars light. This locomotive does not have a Mars light. F7 is dim the headlights. So you can see that kind of dimmed right there. And then F8 is start up, mute, shutdown. F9 is drive hold, but I think my controller's kind of wonky, so F9 does not work drive hold on my controller. My controller's kind of weird. Okay, so we'll start it up now. You can see here there's a little bit of a startup sequence, and then now we've got flange squeal, so we'll turn that on right here. Oh, wait, hold on. So that little sound that it played while idling, that's the air compressor. It plays randomly during idle while you're idling the locomotive, and you can hear the air compressor, it starts up and it starts to pull in air. Okay, now through flange squeal. You can kind of hear that. I think if I mute it, you can kind of hear it. Okay, so if you could kind of hear that little sound that it played right after I muted it, that's what the flange squeal sounds like. It's kind of hard to hear, but that's the flange squeal. And please note, my controller is limited, and there's plenty of other sound functions on here. There's 31 in all. Some of these include class lights, rear backup light, but I previously showed a picture of all the different functions on here. And that's going to do it for the video. This is an absolutely amazing locomotive. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I should have said that at the beginning. This is an absolutely amazing locomotive. For the price that I got it inside the mystery box with some other rolling stock, it is an insanely good deal, and I would highly suggest getting one of these. Rapido really did a good job with these models, and if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Please consider liking and subscribing. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for returning to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.